am going to sell off this right here. See if I can't get back to break even. I expect the run up to the top, but I don't expect it to break through on the first attempt. We don't really have any news events today that I've checked during our trading time. So I should have maybe gone a little heavier on that pullback just down here for a break-even situation. Maybe. I'm going to make sure we're looking good, but let's see this run down here real quick. And if it stalls, probably going to peel. Yeah, I'm going to peel this profit off right there for like $10. Get out of that trade for a break even. Take that $10. Maybe, depending on this action, I might peel off some losses. Or might just recycle. So there's like the exhaustion bar or whatever, a breakout followed by a fake out, and then it's attempting to go at least 50% of that. So if it fails, it just leaves the door open for it to come back down and retest. But if it goes all the way to the top or in the next 20 seconds, could run a little higher.
So you started trading a little bit earlier today.
Well, I just saw this run up, so I was just building into it.
Funny, I have just about the exact same trades as you have.
So we'll see. I mean, our price cycles, I went and measured, are between 10 and this one's a little bigger. So this one looks like this is a 2 price cycle move right here.
Mm-hmm.
So now that it's broken above, if you see this right here on the 5, that we're kind of now in kind of a light situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're up against the kind of an outside range, right?
Right.
So we're also up against the dollar mark where we're that round number, where it's kind of pushed up above, and we'll see if it wants to stay up there. See how it likes sitting at that parity. In the past couple months, it's touched it and gotten smacked right back down. So if you go out to like, I don't know, let's go to the day chart. Maybe not the day chart. Let's go to the hour chart. Kind of see how it's touched the dollar, kind of gone up it, got smacked and gets smacked back down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of touched it right here, smacked back down. Touched it again or broke it here, and then got smacked way down. Came up, touched it again, smacked down. Came up. So that's kind of like it's been doing that. However, this one right here, you do got higher lows coming in. So at some point, I'm thinking it's going to stay above that. Because it trades above it. It's been my whole trading career. It's always been above $1. But we'll see if this is the time or if it's going to get smacked right back down. Definitely, obviously we've gotten the trend up, but this is the place where it could bounce. If it does, what I'm looking here is if it comes down and kind of breaks this, then you could get a fib here. But if it comes up and stays up here and consolidates, it could move up higher. So, but those are the kind of the 2 moves that I'm looking like looking at. And I'm just taking this sell right here is just a fade off of this price cycle right here. The other thing that I thought was interesting in scouring the internet, like the number one most digested is like Forex strategies for beginners, right? That's like the top videos that get the most views, like by a lot. And then the second one that I noticed was price action. But all the price action videos that I watched, none of them talked about price cycles out there on the internet. And I was just like, that's kind of amazing to me because I use price cycles every single day. And I did actually do a search for price cycles on the internet, just on YouTube, just for the word price cycles. And it didn't even come up. Like there was not any videos of anybody talking about price cycles. So I'm like, how do you cover price action without covering price cycles? And that was just odd to me. Like that's just a staple of my trading. But the third video out there that was the most popular, or the third most popular video was kind of a surprise to me. But I get it because YouTube is going through a phase right now. If you guys don't know, you probably do, but of like how to make money fast, right? How to get rich quick, all that kind of stuff. So obviously, like, the stupid videos of like, I turned $10 into 10,000, those get good in like 2 hours or whatever. I don't know, but it was clickbait, so those get viewed. But the one thing, I don't know if anybody's ever done this, but I didn't even know it was kind of a thing out there, kind of big, but the videos out there show you how to pass prop firm trading challenges. So I'm not sure if you guys have seen those or watched those, or what's your thoughts on. I didn't even know, like, it's a whole world to me. Like I knew there was a few, but I guess in the past little bit, there's been a bunch that have popped up. So obviously it's like trade our money type situation, kind of like what Apiary does, but different. I was looking at it and like all these prop firms that people are trading to pass the challenges are like, they don't charge you a monthly fee. They charge you a certain amount to pass the challenge. And then they prey on the people that fail the challenge, I guess, right? They charge you anywhere from like $100 to $1,000 normally. I don't know, just kind of was curious, like if you guys have ever done that, participated in that, seen those, and what your thoughts were on those.
I've seen it, and I think the big difference is that if you fail the challenge, you can just pay it again and get reset to zero. So it just encourages people to just go crazy, put on a big bet, and hope that 50-50 chance they'll succeed. Right.
Definitely.
Because if you fail, then you just pay again, try again, hope for the best.
Right. But there's no learning, there's no education, there's no nothing, and that's probably what they get. That's probably where they make their money, right? They're using that money of the failures.
You fail, you pay another $600, and they say oops, and they reset you back to the original amount.
Right. So you
don't have to account for anything.
Hence, there are actually trading channels out there that want you to pay them money, so they'll teach you how to pass the challenges. Does that make sense? So I've seen
people try 2 or 3 times, they can pass by luck, but then they're in a pickle because they don't know what they're doing.
For sure. So that's kind of the big miss in the market, right?
Yeah. And there are follow-up videos where people admit that they passed by, trying for luck. And then when they got their real account, they didn't know what they were supposed to be doing next.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of the big miss in the market, is that after all of those videos are digested, of the get rich, smack it out of the park videos, and the how to basic strategy stuff, there's nothing out there. So when people are like, what do I do? And then they just give up, I'm sure. I don't know. I'm just kind of curious if everybody's got, like, I mean, have you ever done it? Have you done the challenge, or anybody's ever done that? And how does it, what's your experience? Or anybody? I don't know. Just kind of curious.
I think if they're being a little bit nefarious, they can just, like some of the channels that are like the people doing it, they can just start two demos. In one, they go long, big, and the other they go short, big, and they show you the one that wins and they hide the one that fails. It's as simple as that.
Oh, I didn't think about
one of
it
them's
that
going to
way,
win,
yeah, for sure.
Fail. They show you the one that wins, and then they sweep the other one under the rug and pretend it never happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I have done a few of them. I don't know. Can y'all hear me?
Oh, yeah. Oh, there he is. I'm like wondering where my video is. Like, oh,
Yeah, sorry. I have to change my microphone over. I have done a couple of them. A lot of them are just they predator on what y'all are talking about, but a couple of them like FTMO. As long as you have a good strategy, I've had an account with a 100,000 account with them for several months. As long as you have a good strategy and you realize that you don't really have 100,000, you really only got the risk that they allow, which is about 5,000 a day, 10,000 total. Because if you get $10,000 loss or drawdown, you're out.
Mm-hmm.
And if you trade the $100,000 account like it's a $10,000 account, you can make some pretty good money pretty regularly.
Got it. Because
you get out of your head
that it's not 100,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Because their limits are 10,000 and they cut the account, not like Apiary at 5% where they just cut you for 24 hours.
Exactly.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, Cliff, you made it.
Hi.
Yeah. Yeah. That's I've never even knew that. I honestly didn't even know that part of the internet existed. Right. It's like, I was just surprised to see that that's like, maybe that's new since like the past couple of years or something. Cause I haven't ever done a deep dive in the internet, but all these things are popping up, and I could see that new traders would be pulled to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's no education. You've got to have a strategy that works.
Yeah. So I don't know, kind of like going back to my marketing days. When I first was marketing Apiary, I would kind of do that. I'd go out there and see what people were digesting, right? And then if I liked something, I would participate in it and kind of reverse engineer and see what is it that is appealing. And I did that to a couple outfits out there, and like the ones that were saying, pay us money and we'll get you past these challenges guaranteed. So I'm like, okay, what's the appeal here? And
there's no appeal there because you have to keep the account and make money with it. They're not going to do that.
Well, no, I mean, like, why are people coming? Why are people joining them or whatever? Right.
Quick stuff.
So they had like a guarantee you'll pass these challenges, right? Or your money back or something like that. So like, okay, so that's kind of the next level to this stuff. If you got all these challenges and then you got then people are failing, then I'm like, okay, well, you don't exist. Like your whole channel that teaches you how to pass challenge, you don't exist if passing the challenges was easy, right?
Yeah. They can tell by their stats if people are trying a real strategy or if they're just going for pure luck.
Yeah.
So if you stay within certain parameters, they'll let you try again for free because you were doing it for real the first time.
Yeah. I saw this video.
They can tell if you're just trying based on pure luck.
I saw this video just recently posted from Friday. You remember Friday when the market did this, right? I think it was this move right here.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a video of like 18, 19-year-old kid that passed the $100,000 challenge in 2 hours. And what he did is he put on 2 trades of 16 lots and caught this. And then this happened to him right here. And he lost half of he was like at 19,000 because he had to get to 20,000. So it's kind of interesting. So he had to be at 20,000 to pass the challenge. He was like 19,000. And then this happened and he was down to 10. And in his video, he's saying, well, I could stop trading and cry right now because I just lost it all. And then as soon as he was like feeling like just like depressed and like he didn't get out or anything like that and keep that money because he lost 10,000, it did this and he got his challenge. He's like, see, I told you.
Yeah, no, like when I took it, because I used FCMO on their 100,000, it took me, I didn't make the 30 days because I went real slow because I treated it like a $10,000 account and just said, hey, I didn't make it. Can y'all extend it? They extended it 2 more weeks. And in 2 more weeks, I made 10,000.
Gotcha.
Over the 6 weeks total. But you do stuff like that's pure luck.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this, like I was telling everybody, this doesn't happen. It doesn't move 160 pips in a day, right? It doesn't. So that was kind of, I don't know. But it was kind of funny because somebody was making a video about passing a challenge through this move and we were all trading it, you know. So I don't know.
The other thing I thought of is that the reason they don't talk about price action so much is because it's focused a bit more on longer term traders. So they're going to talk about like chart patterns and things like that, which it is price action, but since they're longer term, they're going to use words like chart patterns and, the chart patterns that you learn. And then price action would be more for shorter term intraday type traders. It's just a matter of.
You mean that's why they don't use price cycles, the word price cycles?
Cycles, yeah. Price cycles is something that intraday traders focus on more. For them, like almost everyone in FTMO, I think, is a longer term trader, like swing trader. So they won't talk about price cycles because it's not really useful to them. Talk about chart patterns.
Well, my research showed, that inside of strategies, the scalping strategies tend to get the most hits. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm trying to separate between, like, for me, I'm trying to figure out how to grow the channel, but also not fall into but not be like, you got to give a little
scam artist.
Yeah, you got to give them a little bit of what they want.
here's the biggest thing I saw, and this is actually how I found Apiary and thought, like, yep, this is the real deal. Mm-hmm. So whenever you're looking on YouTube and they always show the recordings in the past, and they're never live trading. And so, like this, you always have like this in the back of your mind, like, well, yeah, I see it's a W now. But like, you can't say like, right? See, it's a W. And so you buy it on the bottom. And so the second I came across Sean's video or, 2 year and a half, 2 years ago, I was like, this guy's trading live. Like, I've never seen anybody trade live. No, I mean, I watched the video in the past, but it was of a live trade. And so if you wanted to like, ring somebody's ears, you talk about, make 1%, watch us live or something, because nobody else trades live because they can't, because it's just a sham with all these indicators. We know that all the indicators don't work because they're, by the time the moving average crosses real time, there's no way for us to trade that.
Yeah, I did watch a couple of people out there on the internet that had like really popular channels. And so they started looking at it like, okay, what kind of videos are they doing? How are they getting popularity? And a few of them actually claimed that they trade live. So I went over and watched some of their old live videos, and they were looking at charts for like an hour and placed like one trade, and then they shut the video down. Yeah. And like, how did the trade go? Yeah. How did it end? And then the next video was like, made $3,000 on that trade, Yeah.
Or the other thing that people have said, where they will have like 4 different accounts. And so they'll buy on one account and sell on another and have them all recorded. It'd be like, see, I did it live. It's like, you sham.
See, I never even thought of that. Thanks for that. Thanks for the awesome thoughts. I could really put some good videos out.
Just record all your sessions and then show the ones that succeeded.
Exactly. All wins, no losses.
That never happened. Reset your account. Oopsie daisy.
0 losses.
Yeah, but that's the biggest thing I saw was they would always go back and be like, see, it went up here, and then so you have to buy here, and it's like, well, of course you can see the whole screen. Like, what? Right. That's not teaching us anything.
No, this is great. This is great feedback. So what kind of videos, like when you guys, anybody still go to YouTube for education? Just curious. Or have you witnessed what I've seen? And there's like, you've digested all the valuable content that's out there, and there's not a whole lot because it's all trying to just hook new traders in, I guess, or brand new traders with you can make $1 million dream, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think, David, if you stick with what you've got and just let it grow, you'll bring the people. You won't bring the people that are looking to get rich quick and deal with that kind of mess.
Yeah, kind of the second level people, right? The people that have gone through that stuff and said it doesn't work. I need help. Those people, right?
Yeah, because like I said, once I saw the difference, so I saw Sean trading and some, it was a YouTube video of, I don't know, 5 years ago, but I searched you guys. I found the website. It was an actual number with an actual address. 3 days later, I was talking to Barb, and 3 days later, I was in Beeline. So like anybody who wants to legitimately look, because all these other scams, like they don't have they have a website. They don't have a physical address. They don't have a phone number. So it's like, what is this? But
they aren't in the United States.
Yeah, like you literally, Barb literally called you, and you literally could ask questions.
Yeah, almost all of these challenges are not. Well, I don't think it can be in the U.S. too. So all of these all these companies are outside the U.S., right?
Yeah, you can be a U.S. citizen. Like I do FTMO. But.
You can be a U.S. citizen, but I don't think that you could be a broker in the U.S.
Not like that, because the SEC one of those has too many high rules. You have to have like $10 million or $10 billion secured. It's something stupid.
Well, you also can't hedge, right?
Yeah, it's first in, first out. Right. You could not do what we do.
Exactly. All that kind of stuff. Well, I was just like taking the other thing that I did, this was the thing that I took away from it, from if I was like going to do something. So, and I got it from not the video, but a comment. So I always scour the comments and see if people are like eating it up, or if they have, or what, just the comments usually tell me more than the videos. Right. So, one guy said, and obviously he knew what he was doing, but one guy said that he had signed up with like 5 different of those challenges for like, he said he's trading like $1 million or something like that with all the different companies. And then he does a copy trade type thing. Right. And so he places one trade in one account, and it places a trade on all of his other accounts. And I'm like, And I started thinking, for my own self, I could trade $1 million and just trade once.
You better have good risk management.
Well, you would be trading like you were trading $100,000 account, right?
Right. Because you lose 1% on one, you just lost 1% on 10.
That's true.
Yeah. Like with FTMO, you can buy your way into $300,000.
Is FTMO the like big daddy of all of them?
It's one of the most.
They are. In my experience, they're the best, because they like my first cash out. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Doug.
They're in the Czech Republic, and they're kind of half and half. They encourage people to start YouTube channels, so you have a lot of people that will kind of opportunistically make it seem like they're winning and become sort of like a coach.
Got it.
Kind of plug a channel or a coaching service, and sometimes they have no real success. They're just, they just show their good days and hide their bad days.
Yeah, I would agree.
And like Scott just wrote in the comments, like the YouTube channels, you then get paid for subscribers. So that's that could be their goal as well. Is they're just making a great commercial with great IT graphics, and it's like, wow, this guy knows what he's doing. Like, well, no, he just got 1 million hits. That just paid for his house payment.
Those guys are looking for the YouTube payment more than the FTMO payment.
Mm-hmm. And for some people, it's like that. There's always people that they'll make more money on coaching than succeeding. That's
well, let's see what I was saying with the FTMO. I gave them the one account, and then you profit split 2 weeks later or a month later or whatever. They close the old one. They literally close it, reopen the new one, and send you your check the same day. So that I did like about them.
Yeah, I have, I mean, from an experienced trader, like from my perspective, I didn't even know that world existed, to be honest with you guys. But
I can tell a bit more about it.
I don't think it's a long-term thing. Like what I'm using it for, because I don't have a lot of money, is I'm using the prop firm monies to
raise your
create my own $100,000 account. And
Yeah,
then
sure.
when I'm done losing those, I'll just trade my own.
Well, so would it be, I guess the thing that I went to bed last night thinking was, would it be of value if we as a group traded and passed those challenges and taught people to pass the challenges, taught you guys to pass the challenges? I don't know. You know what I mean? That's what I was like thinking, because I'm pretty confident that I could.
Your edge is in the trade management. I mean, you couldn't go to $10,000 drawdown or whatever the account drawdown is.
Like 5% is generally what I saw, right?
Right. So if you hit that, you're out.
Right.
But
that's
you also risk management edge. I would say, yeah.
That's a simple trade adjustment, right? Where you just have to. I mean, when it's my own money, I have gone beyond the 5% before, but obviously I just simple trade risk management rules, stuff like that.
But
just thinking outside the box a little bit.
For FTMO, do they allow scalping? And what kind of spreads do they give you?
I've seen some people that will definitely allow scalping, hedging, all that kind of stuff. I just don't remember who does what. Yeah, I looked at a bunch of them.
They do, but I would be careful about some of them. Like I did another one where I was supposed to close out today, and they closed the account because I ran one trade without a take profit, and I had like $10,000 profit over there, so I'm a little pissed off. But
yeah, you got
like FTMO has separate type of accounts. Well, they have one with really stringent rules that they don't allow you to trade news over the weekends. They don't allow you to trade news, period, that kind of thing. And then they have another one that's not as aggressive and not as high leverage and that sort of thing that you can't. So as you just tell them what you're doing, they'll give you the account that they like.
I'll tell you one more thing they do, which is a bit shady, is called B-booking, is where if people succeed the challenge and they get a real account, they don't actually enter your moves into the real market until you've proven that you actually can succeed. And until then, they treat it like a demo. And if you win, they pay you out of their pocket.
Is that like, I've seen somewhere
that's true Forex,
I think I've seen somewhere that they have like a phase 1 and phase 2. Is that what you're talking about? Like phase 1, you can get lucky at, but phase 2, you got to prove yourself or something like that.
What they do, they'll say it's a real account, but they treat it like a demo. And then if you manage to win, they'll just pay you out of their pocket because they never entered your moves into the real market.
Right. It's all demo account.
They just let you play like a video game. And then if you win, they just, skip it.
They pay you from the money that they get from people resetting their accounts.
Yeah, essentially. That's called.
I think that's why I could see.
I know that they do that.
That's why I could see that a lot of companies could get in trouble with that, right? Especially if they were governed by United States rules. Yeah, I could see that. That's the first thing I thought of is that are they really giving you real money or are they just?
FTMO has admitted that they've quietly admitted that they do B-booking. That they treat it like a demo until you prove that you're for real.
Yeah, because you got to think that 100 traders that sign up for that, only like 1 or 2% are gonna actually be consistent.
Yeah,
they have a 6% pass rate.
Pass rate, or I wonder what
to actually get an account and like keep it. It's like 6%.
Like I wonder if does that like 6% that I'm getting paid, or is it you think it's even lower than 6% that I get a check? Because once you pass, then the greed comes in, right? Because seriously, you could get lucky on a pass, and then you're like, now I got real money. I'm gonna swing for the fences. You know what I mean? And then not ever get a check because I blew my live account up. I could see that happening too.
So Dave, I missed the first couple minutes of the class here. Are you trading yourself? And then did you guys talk about bias and stuff already? Or what?
Yes. So going back to the first initial trade setup, is that what you're asking, Pete?
Well, yeah, like what's the scoop? I've been gone for a week because of that boot camp thing. Did you guys are still doing the 5K, right? You didn't hit your goal yet?
Yeah. So what I've done is I'm still kind of kind of circling back to, I guess, from last week to a week before. So there's going to be a few changes with this group a little bit and what we're going to be doing. Still haven't ironed out everything. I was talking with Sean last week.
Are you kicking me out?
Yeah, you're done. You're done.
Done.
No, I was talking with Sean last week and about everything, all my ideas and everything we're putting together. And he just loved it. And so we turned it into like a brainstorming session on how to enhance it, how to make it better. And I'm still going through that, hence the conversation that we've been having, right? Like, what is the best use of our time here? What's going to, I'm looking at it from all the angles, but most importantly, I'm looking at it from the angle of what's going to benefit you guys the most. Because if I figure that out, the growth will just come naturally. Does that make sense? And hence, what type of trading do we do? What that is. And talking with, everybody, the biggest thing is just, the concept of going 5 to 50, right? Not necessarily the numbers, but it's the consistency, right? And it's basically getting that consistency down so that you guys, as you guys feel like you are now a consistently profitable trader. Does that make sense? And so we're trying to figure out the best model for that. And in doing that, I was learning that as I was trading with like Patricio and Cool and all those guys every single day, what was happening is that particularly with the newer guys, I would say, okay, place a buy here. And they would place a buy, right? And then I would say, place a sell here, and they'd place a sell. And I was like, I'm wondering if they're learning or if they're just doing what I'm telling them to do, right? And so all last week was me trading this account, and I'm like, okay, I can trade. I just personally, I can't really. It's hard for me to trade my live account in front of people, and I don't want to do that because the moment that if it's a live account, the moment that I start losing or have to fix a trade, I go quiet, extremely quiet. I go dark. I get focused on that, and then then the education doesn't come out. So if I'm trading a demo account, I sit and I talk about what I'm looking at, what all the possibilities. I talk and I teach and I train, and that seemed to be pretty good from last week. And just kind of talking through what I'm seeing. These are the two scenarios, following along, and I'm doing more teaching than I'm actually buy here, sell here type stuff. But again, I'm still exploring, like the whole conversation we've just been having today is I'm still exploring what is the best use of our time. And one of the things that I liked last week was that we would say, okay, we're going to go for 1% in this account. Then I'm going to issue you guys a challenge. We're going to see if we can't complete the challenge. And then we do a trade recap. And we started doing that for a few days last week. And that seemed to go really good because I'm a firm believer in 1, make your money, so 1, make the money. 2, practice on something that you need practice on. So 2, practice. And then 3, recap what you learned. And so I started looking at that model. And I think a lot of people were liking that. So again, you guys are the OGs here. So you tell me what what has benefited you guys the most, right? I mean, that's honestly what I'm trying to discover, what I'm trying to figure out. I spend a lot of time seeing what's out there, what other people are doing, what we can do to make it better, to build a bigger audience, all that kind of stuff. So, Pete, to answer your question, is I'm still kind of in the exploratory phase as to what is the best use for you guys. What is going to make you guys a better trader? And again, if I find that, I think everything else we talked about, the marketing, everything else will come, right? I don't need to throw a video out there that says, watch me turn $10 into 10,000 on 2 trades or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you could do something with the FTMO crowd. You could put something out that.
Right. And so I started thinking about that too, because that's really popular and I could grow the audience pretty quick doing that. But at the same token, I don't want to give up my soul. You know?
Well, Dave, I mean, I think the goal of everyone in the boot camp and the goal of most of us isn't really, turning $10 into 10,000, but it's
yes, because you guys have already gone beyond that.
No. I would say hands down, our entire goal is to learn how to be consistent so we can all be full-time traders.
Exactly.
And so that buzzword, if I'm just walking into YouTube today, not knowing anything, and I'm like, I want to be a full-time trader. That's kind of my first search, not like get rich quick and all that kind of stuff. That's literally what I'm trying to learn every day to get better from learning from you and all the other guys is, so we can be full-time traders, not to just, make $10,000 quick.
Well, yes, but unfortunately that doesn't grow an audience. So I got to kind of play in both worlds a little bit, because my marketing hat says I need to focus on something that's going to grow the audience. And then my trading hat says, I'm not going to teach something. I'm not going to show something that I don't believe in. Does that make sense? And so I'm trying to balance the two, right?
I can tell you from my experience when I got into apiary, because I tried a lot of other systems that didn't work, is that having the YouTube videos there to learn from when we're not live was a big help. So the fact that you're putting your stuff out there for me to reference later when it's more convenient is great. But also another thing you guys were talking about earlier, and I didn't want to interrupt the conversation, is that I didn't really have a lot of faith in apiary until I saw Sean lose, because nobody was really willing to show that. But the fact that he was willing to show and be honest about, hey, some days are good days and some days are bad days, but here's how you fix it. I was way more into that. And so with what he was doing, by you doing the YouTube videos, I would watch live when I could. And then if I couldn't watch live, I'd go back to the videos, and I learned a lot of stuff just on that. And that's what keeps me coming back. So whatever you decide to do, make sure you record everything and put it out there, because the more videos you put out on YouTube, the algorithm is going to put you in people's faces more anyway. So record everything, edit it, and put it out there. Yeah.
But would you believe that, how to fix bad trades doesn't get any views?
Yeah. Well, but because it's a weird concept, but once you get it, it's like
it's something that's unique to the wobble technique more.
Just the title, how to fix bad trades or when trades go bad. Yeah. That does not get any. It's like walk away. That's like so low on the view channel.
But then also it's the why buy the cow when you get the milk for free. Like us as apiary subscribers and traders on these subscribers, like we're wanting to go watch videos inside the paywall to learn how to get better at recognizing price cycles and fixing trades. And so like if I'm being completely frank, it's I don't care about Dave's marketing to grow a channel. Like we're trying.
No, you don't, but you
know what I mean?
But I do, right?
Right.
And so I'm trying to balance that, but for this right here, what we're doing in this 2 hours every single day, this is not marketing. This is what can I do with these 2 hours to help you to become a better trader.
This is the product we get when we buy from you, quote unquote.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So YouTube and Google and all them are always about the actual word people are using to search to get it. like you say, he's calling it turning losers into winners. That's not going to catch a lot. You've got to find the words that they're using. There is a website out there. I used to know what it was because I did websites for a living. But there is a search engine website that you can put in your term, and it will tell you, it'll give you feedback based on Google, how people click based on the words you put in it. Yeah, I forgot what it was.
Right. Yeah. It also says like what's the most searched words and stuff. It gives percentages.
If the goal is to get people here, then your marketing should be a bunch of chicks in bikinis and hot tubs trading on YouTube.
I would click that.
Yeah.
It's just
you guys remember the Swedish bikini team back in the 90s?
I remember that from Dumb and Dumber. You guys remember that at the end of Dumb and Dumber, and the Swedish bikini team pulls up?
Oh, yeah.
Which way to the town? Would you guys like to join us? And then
you have to excuse my friend. He's a little daft.
The town is
that way.
Yeah.
So you're suggesting Dave to build a Swedish trading team?
No. This is Patricio. This
Are you
is
taking applications?
This is your task, Patricio, not mine.
Right.
This guy's on a bikini, so I won't.
Oh, Cool's here now. Okay.
I'm thinking about
submit your photo
in bikinis. I don't know about that.
Well, I wanted to go back to Nick's comment. Nick's comment was like he watches psychology videos, and those do get watched, but not as much as the others. But I think that those psychology videos are probably the type of videos that I would probably lean to want to make, because in my experience, once you get past the I'm not going to get rich unless I learn how to trade, like. Once you realize that, like, I can't just follow along. I watched this YouTube video, like a ton of YouTube videos until over the weekend. And I saw this girl and she said, I blew up my account. And so I watched it, like, well, you should blow up her account. And it was like, it was like devastated that she lost, and she blew up her, it was a $500 account that she had taken like a month to build. And yeah, to her, it was devastating, but she didn't know how to trade, but she had all these followers. And I'm like, wait, has all these followers, but she has no idea how to trade. And this was like a fairly recent video.
How old is she and how cute was she? Because if you go to Twitch and things like that, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. That's why I need to get Patricio to trade.
In a bikini.
No, guys can't pull bikinis off. Just in your accent.
Oh my god.
Mi amor.
Yeah, there's Ed. What was that channel name? How can I get there?
I don't know how to say trading in Spanish, but I would say be like mi amor, mi trading.
Trading, claro.
No, I just like, but the psychology, I saw the Moving Average channel and I liked their stuff, like the psychology of trading, but they were not as popular as watch me trade $20, watch me trade $50. And I'm like, those are not the videos I want to make, because that tells me that you're preying on the get rich quick people who are broke. You know what I mean? And I don't think that combination, I don't think that combination works at all in trading. Right. So I kind of just skipped over the top videos of like $20, $10, making 1,000, because that's not the audience that you want anyways. Do you know what I mean? But so I was kind of like, I don't know the right word is, like, saddened or disappointed on YouTube that the content is not good content to teach people how to trade. It's built around subscribe to me because I'm a cool person, if that makes sense. I don't know.
That's the whole.
Show them a picture of your Lamborghini.
Yes, that's what's out there too. Watch me buy this Rolex, this 19-year-old kid buying a Rolex with Forex money.
You got a picture of their trading with a Rolex and a Lamborghini in front of them behind the trading thing. And they probably got that on one freaking trade, and it's the only trade they made all year that made any money.
Exactly.
There are entire channels where they never show live trading. They never show real results. They never talk about trading. It's more just personality and a smooth kind of video. And they get a lot of results. Kind of makes me giggle sometimes.
Well, Larry's got some awesome comments for me. Thanks, Larry. You just boosted my confidence. I was reading Larry. He's like, I've learned more from you in the last 2 weeks than I ever did before. I want to give you a lot of praise. I'm like, man, you know what? Stop.
Just like last week, I was watching a popular trading channel, is the girl who does it. And she was doing a Q&A where she's taking questions from the audience. Mm-hmm. And of course, someone asks, so how are you doing? What are your results? And she just completely dodges the question. And she has on some channels, like hundreds of thousands of views, even up to 1 million views on some.
Yeah, you can kind of tell within the first, for me at least, I can tell within the first couple minutes of their videos if this person actually knows what they're talking about or they're just building content for views, right?
You know what might be cool, since you've got all these people that trade, is put up kind of like you've got on this Zoom. Everybody trade at the same time during your morning session, and everybody got their trading windows up and how they're trading.
Like everybody's showing how. Okay, so I had Cool do this, and I don't know if this is what you're talking about, but I had
their social security numbers.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe not that.
No, I had Cool do this, and just last week or the week before, where I had him do what I'm doing, which was trade in front of people and teach. And it was obviously his demo account. But as soon as that was over, he's like, that was the hardest thing to do. Remember that, Cool? If he's still here. I don't know if he's still here.
Yeah, no, I do.
So tell me a little bit about what you said after that, right?
Well, it was hard because, at least if I remember correctly, our conversation, because, when you trade, I was so one-sided, like you're saying, when you're driving your live account, you're trying to fix it, you're now going to that hermit mode where you just concentrate on that. And sometimes to try to train and teach and show what's going on, it's difficult. It's extremely difficult to do.
It is. It really is. And I think I've kind of expressed this to some people in my group. It literally probably took me a year to figure out how to trade in front of people live and teach at the same time. Because if I was doing bad, it would affect me psychologically because I was doing bad in front of people, right? Not the fact that you're just doing bad or you're losing, but you're losing in front of people, right? And that was really hard psychologically, whether it was, a live account or demo account, because people judge you, people judge you as a trader based upon if you, are taking losses or wins, wins or losses. That's ultimately what they judge you on, right? And so to me, that was tough. And so I would do, and actually it's kind of funny because Sean and I just had this conversation last week, because I came to him and I was like, okay, I came to him and I said, here's my challenges with this 5 to 50 group. And I know you've taught people in groups, you're doing it with his trader on the street stuff where he pulls somebody out and he does this. I'm like, here's my challenges. What have you done to overcome these? Or what do you think? And he's like, I've done it all, where, Sean still does this today. And I don't do it as much, where I trade before, or used to do this all the time, where if I knew I was going to be in front of a large group, I would trade the night before, the morning before, so that I was up on my account. And so it would take the pressure off of me. If I did lose, I'd still be up, right? And that was a technique that I do for a long time, is I trade to get up and be up in the account before you even started, because then you don't have to worry about taking a loss. Then in my personal evolution, I was getting bored of trading because there was no more challenges. And I don't mean to say that in a was just like, I'm the type of person that always likes to challenge myself, to push myself, right? I always like to find ways to challenge. And so the next challenge was, can I do a $10,000 account in front of everybody starting at 10,000 and not placing a trade and becoming profitable? And that took me a long time to figure out how to do that in front of people and not take a loss. And so, or to be profitable more consistently. But guess what? It also helped me to become a much better trader, because I had to show people how to trade, become a better trader, as well as teach them and trade and chew gum, like Cool says, all at the same time. And adding all of those complexities helped me to become a much better trader, right? And so I wanted to kind of add that into what we're doing here, right? And I know it's extremely difficult. It is extremely difficult to teach and trade at the same time, but it will make you a better trader. So that's kind of where I was at. And I was like thinking, I was thinking about changing it up to where everybody in this group can have an opportunity to trade in front of people if they want it. Like some people will never do it just because they're afraid, but it will make you a better trader. So it's kind of thinking about along those lines about how, maybe trading and having you guys trade in front of people every day, have somebody different. And honestly, Sean loved that I did too. Like taking somebody from this group and having them, trade while I'm saying, well, kind of like the guest trader thing where you have a guest trader every single day. I don't know.
And then you'd say, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I wouldn't do that.
Now that could mess you up. What do you mean? No, I would.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah. So Pete, you're up first.
I've already got someone that does that in my life. It's my wife.
Oh, no.
I'm just kidding. She's amazing.
Yeah, I know. But now you have two people. I don't know, Pete. I don't know. I don't know if
I wouldn't do that.
So, I mean, back to that was a really, really long way to answer your question, Pete.
I know. I tuned out.
But ultimately, I'm trying to go through your guys' comments real fast. Ultimately, I don't trade this time frame. I don't trade right here in the morning for me. I'm doing it for you guys. So what would be the best? What's the best use of our time? Ultimately that's the question, right? What's the best use of our time? And so that's what I'm still trying to figure out. Oh, Helicopter Ed, I just saw your green bikini. That you should keep that to yourself, buddy.
I really like that idea where you're talking about one person trade different each day and you kind of talk about it, what they get into. And if it's wrong, you don't say that it was wrong. You say, okay, how do we manage this? And it's because that would literally be a lesson every day because we're all going to be doing very similar behaviors all the time.
Yeah, no, for sure. It is, but it is difficult to trade in front of people. Like it's easier. It's so much easier when you're trading with Sean or that kind of, not necessarily with Sean, but that kind of like buy here, sell here, buy here, when somebody's telling you what to do because you don't have to think about it. But I wanted to take it maybe a step further and actually put you guys in the chair to where you're kind of teaching what you're seeing and you're looking through it and kind of explaining to other people what you're doing.
So you have these daily challenges, right? Mm-hmm. What about taking that and kind of teaching it Monday through Wednesday and then Thursday and Friday, one person on Thursday, one person on Friday, trade with those techniques you taught Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday without guiding them saying buy here, sell here, but just letting them trade live with the lessons on Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, I thought about that too. And that's a great comment. But unfortunately, you just don't know what market you're going to get. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like today, well, just the last little bit, we've been getting this great wobbling market. What if I'm saying, okay, you need to build into a turn, but it's not a wobbling market, it's a marching market. Do you know what I mean? And so
Well, there's other pairs.
There's other what? Sorry.
There's other pairs that may not be in a marching. They could be in a
oh man, telling me to trade a different pair.
Well, and here's
it's like asking me to pick another wife. Come on.
And Dave, here's something to consider is,
just kidding.
If you jump on, let's say Josh or your dad or someone, it's their turn to be up. You and them kind of figure out the first 5-minute strategy of, here's where I think the market is going. Here's our trend bias and price cycle. Okay, now, so you gave them a little bit of nudge. And so now the group is like, okay, our bias today is up. So here's how we're going to start trading based off of that bias. So at least you give a little bit of insight. So we're on the right track. And then it's
sure.
And then it's the candle by candle of, well, here's our action points. Here's the decision points. Here's what I'm going to do if this and then,
So let me just show, like, we got quite a good group of people here real quick. Let me ask the question to everybody. Just kind of put let's put it in like, would you guys, who here would actually, just with the yes and no, who here would actually want to be in, let's just say, the hot seat and trade in front of people? Because I think we would get a little bit of, I'm just kind of seeing if it's like 50-50. Yeah, Pat says he'll do it in a bikini. All right, I'm holding you to that.
I would.
Oh my God.
Some people have like that, and it, just like, there's no way you'd ever get me to do that, and that's fine. I'm just wondering, like, I just don't want it to be the same five people or 10 people or whatever that is. You know what I mean? I do, Nick, I'm the same way. I do learn best in the hot seat, right?
Yeah.
I do learn best. Like, that's why I look for opportunities to kind of push me out of my comfort zone. But there are people out there who are like, no way, absolutely not. I will never do that. And maybe that's fine. Maybe by doing it, they're learning just as much as the person in the hot seat. I don't know. But those are kind of my ideas of because this whole session today, the last hour of trading, I've not really taught you guys anything trading.
I noticed you've been selling the whole time, but I've been going long the whole time, and I'm doing just as well as you are.
No, I've been.
Well, I mean, not literally the whole time, but every time I look up at your trades, you've got some short.
I've been wobbling pretty much. So I've been buying and selling, but I haven't been like, okay, this is what I'm looking at. This is, obviously this is just like second nature to me. So I'm just like talking and trading at the same time, like, which about anything, which is very difficult for a lot of people to do. I know, like, if you're trading, right?
If you want, I can give you 2 good examples of YouTube channels to look at.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, probably the best ones I've seen, because I'm subscribed to probably 7 or 8 of them. But do you know, they both do stock, actually. So it's very similar to Forex.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Oliver Velez?
Nope.
Okay, type that one in. It's in YouTube. And just subscribe it or bookmark it. Because he's always succeeding, and he's very good. He's been doing it for decades. And then also SMB Capital.
Obviously, I know them.
You know them, yeah. They do a good job. They're more like dry and academic, but it's a good channel to learn from. And then Oliver Velez is a little bit more like Razzmatazz and Poppy and Energy. But he does more like shorter term or scalping on the New York open and stock market. So it's a very similar kind of approach.
What's the name? Oliver what?
Velez, Velez.
Got it.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
He puts out every day. Got a whole team.
I think I've seen his videos. Just
yeah.
Oh,
he's worth watching. Like
Patricio, he has a Spanish channel.
He does too. Yeah, he does.
Oliver
Latin America in Spanish.
Is that Oliver Velez?
Yeah, he has Oliver Velez trading in Espanol. And he has about 30,000 subscribers on the Spanish one.
So he has almost 500,000 views on his top video, like a masterclass in scalping. Similar.
See, that's the kind of stuff that I look for. What I look for is so he has 260 subscribers, but if he has videos out there with 500,000 views, that means the content that he's pushing is more popular than his channel. Yeah, not that I'm saying his channel is not popular, but he's finding what people are wanting. Does that make sense? Yeah. If he had 500,000 subscribers and he had 500,000 views, that doesn't tell me from a marketing perspective. It means that he knows how to build subscribers, but he's not getting new people to watch his stuff. Does that make sense?
He has 250,000 subscribers on his English channel. That's not bad at all.
No, it's not bad.
It's 259K. 259,000. That's 250,000 and more. And then the Spanish one I don't know because I don't watch it. I think it's the same. It's just translated pretty much.
So the consensus from this conversation, kind of the takeaway is that the people who said no, they wouldn't do it. Would you guys still like to see somebody else do it? And would you think that would be a learning environment for you, or is it better to just watch and follow as I trade? That's kind of the question. Because I don't understand that. Like for me, I always try to push myself out of comfort zone. So I don't understand the no, but I do understand that there are people that are a hard no. And I respect that. But I don't understand it from my perspective. So I'm like, which is the better learning for you guys that are like, no way, never, I'm never gonna be put in the hot seat, right? So just kind of curious.
So I guess, can we do both?
Well, of course, but you mean have me trade and
yeah, we could do an hour, have you trade like we're doing right now, and then have the other hour have someone else do it.
It would be hard. It's kind of hard to manage that hour because, like I said, some days you just don't get anything, or if you're trying to fix trades, it can go longer than an hour. So having like a hard, okay, we're switching to this, we're switching to that, can be great to have the idea, but maybe difficult to manage. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I know some parts this last week when Sean was trading and we were asking him questions like, why didn't you get in here? And he explained it to us. So we were learning big chunks of new knowledge as he was trading and we were trading our own accounts. If you're walking alongside us, it's almost like you are trading with us. So like, person one is trade, it's his or her screen, and you're kind of helping mentor alongside him. Like, well, we're coming up to the top of the price cycle. So what does that tell us? Things like that maybe we're forgetting when we're trading by ourselves.
Sure. So Michael, you just said that's how you learn best, was what Pete was just talking about, like watching and asking questions from me. Is that okay? Got it. Yeah. So going back to that, it's like, this demo account is still, I started at $5,000 in this demo account, and I'm up to 20,000 and almost, I guess 19 change, just a little over 19. But I don't get real crazy in this account, like get aggressive or anything. And it's just a consistent growth. I think I started this one in September. Right. And so, yes, I trade demo accounts a little bit differently than I trade live, but the only difference, like if I'm trading, like right now, I'm not doing anything different than I wouldn't do in my live. I'm trading. The only thing different is probably that I've discovered is that if I'm in a situation where I got to fix my trades, I will spend all the time necessary in my live account to fix my trades. And then my demo account, I'll just be like, I'll do it tomorrow. That's probably the only difference between a live and a demo account is the amount of time and energy I put into fixing my trades. But trading, when I'm in the trade, completely the same.
Well, I don't want to speak for everyone else, but I don't care if you just trade and you're talking through your trades. I don't think any of us want to just like mimic you as a parrot and be like, well, he clicked, so I'm clicking. Like I literally am learning from you explaining the ranges and the price cycles and the pullbacks and well, look at the 5 minute. This is what we're seeing. I mean, that's what I'm here for, not just to mimic you and go, well, he made 100 pips and I made 100 pips because I clicked every time.
Sure. So I'm just looking at your guys' comments real fast. I like that. I like that model, Deborah, the see one, do one, teach one. I really do love that model. And I'm going to tell you guys this, that my growth as a trader was on hyper growth when I became the Wobble crew captain. I didn't think I was ready, right? I'm like, you want me to get in front of people and trade? I've never done it before in my life. So if you've never done something, you'll never think you're ready, right? And well, one of my good friends told me a long time ago that once your mind has been expanded, it'll never go back. It will never go back. And cool. What was that quote again that you told me like years ago?
No, that's good.
Oh, that it? Once your mind
once your mind is expanded, it'll never go back to its original form.
Yeah. And it's so true. And teaching trading expanded my mind. Like, how do I teach this? And even though, those of you guys who were last week were in the Wobble boot camp, I said that a couple times, like I teach the Wobble. So I had to learn how to break it down for people to understand it. And so that's why I use terms like action points and levels and 1, 2, 3s and all this kind of stuff. And I had to learn how to do that so that I could teach it. So I love that model, see one, do one, teach one. And I think that if you guys will embrace that, you will become a much better trader too. Hands down, the teacher is always better than the student. And it's not because they're smarter. It's just because when you teach something, you do 100 times more research than the person that's receiving that information. Right. So I don't know. That's my philosophy. That's why I've been kind of pushing. If you guys pass a challenge, show us how you pass that challenge. Record a video, show us how you pass that challenge. And it's more for you guys to teach that than it is for anything else. Right. Nick, you're starting a YouTube channel. What's it going to be called? I want to know so I can subscribe. I want to see your. I want to. David the Moffat training. You're gonna review. You're gonna review my reviews. I saw a lot of that too. That was out there. It was kind of funny. A real trader reviewing this video.
I wouldn't have done it right here. I would have done it. I would have put a buy on.
I like that.
Yeah.
Do you know the Moffat Man? The Moffat Man? Yes, the Moffat Man.
Who lives on Drury Lane?
Yeah, exactly.
Something I'm looking at might make you feel better. The channels that do real live trading and the ones that show real results, they get more than double the number of clicks and subscribers than the
ones that are just this are like, I almost want to say clickbait, right?
Yeah, the real ones, because people can tell what's real and what is worth their time and what gets real results. People can kind of get misled by a cheeseball channel, but they see what's real and they see who's succeeding. So the ones that are like real and trading every day and showing the ups and downs and the real results, they get more than double the subscribers and more than double the clicks at the least, sometimes quintuple. So
I'm not necessarily, so yes, goal number one is to build, good material, but but not give away, and so that's kind of where I'm like, I scoured the internet for a good long time, and I couldn't find it in the Forex space. And maybe there's other spaces where there's people posting recordings of live trading like I'm doing every day. And I couldn't see it. I couldn't find it. I don't know if you guys have found it, but I scoured and I couldn't see where people were consistently doing that. I could see like here and there, like 1 or 2 videos, but not on a consistent basis.
Mm-hmm. You mean, well, don't get too lost in the channels that are done by FTMOers.
What's that? Somebody was saying
don't get too lost in the channels that are done by FTMOers, because the ones like Velez or SMB get double the clicks and double the subscribers, or even triple or quintuple. So don't get too focused on FTMO people who are just trying to get by on charisma or.
Well, I guess the thing what I was talking about was like, I don't know if they don't show their trades live because they keep it behind a paywall.
Oh, okay. There's
you
that
know
too.
What I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm just wondering if
seems to me if they were doing that well, they would show their results up front, and then like showing how to do it would be behind the paywall.
Sure.
So I have a feeling they're not quite as. But the people.
This is good. This is good conversations, though, guys. I appreciate it because, like I said, over the weekend I was just kind of doing a deep dive as to 2 things, right? Trying to answer 2 questions: what's going to grow an audience and what's going to hold an audience, right?
To a person that is that has lost money, like to those guys out there that are trying to trade and earn money, well, you don't make, and I'm presuming here, Dave, you may not realize how unique it is that the apiary can just jump in and earn 1% of your account a day. You know, that was a 1,000% mind blow to me. I've got buddies that have lost 50,000, 100,000. They're trying to trade their investor friends' money, and they're going for 1% a month. They're trying for 10 or 12% a year. And like the second that when I'm looking at Sean's account and it's 3% in a day, and Nate and you are pulling these percentages out, this is mind blowing. This is like millionaire, multi-millionaire potential. And if you're using buzzwords like, let us show you how to earn 1% a day. I mean, that is mind blowing. That does not happen outside of, a hedge fund like this, or so to me, that was crazy. And I see you guys do it every single day. And that is not the norm out in the real world.
It's not.
I don't know if anyone else, finds that as well, but to me,
Absolutely.
that was the game changer.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Even, sometimes people like Velez or SMB will talk about the results, and they get at best about 200 or 250% per year, 150, 200, 250% per year.
On their ROIs, yeah.
Yeah, their ROI, which is great. It's excellent.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I think we can outdo that. If you get 1% per day, you're outdoing that, I think. Right?
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
What,
I mean, even if you were conservative, if you were conservative and said, I'll do 1% a day for 4 days average times, 5 weeks in the month, that's 20% times 12 months, 240, 260, 280% in a year. Nobody does that except, these high echelon, earn 200%, 250% a year. What?
Well, it also comes to
the Forex is faster than stock.
Yeah,
and short-term trading at the wobble is faster than swing trading. So it's going to be faster if you do it right. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for sure.
Can't get much faster.
I'd echo that 1% thing that he's talking about. That is, and it seems so easy for you to pull it out of the market, 1%, whereas when you try to go for 2 or 3, it's a little harder. But if you make that the centerpiece of your marketing, I think that may be pretty strong.
Instead of the 5%ers, the 1%ers.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys seen this?
And it has the other side of the tone. You're in the top 1%.
Oh, that's true. What the 1% doesn't tell you. Right? I've seen a lot of those, or what the top 1% doesn't tell you. Those headlines for the videos. No, I think the key is not necessarily putting a percentage on it, but the key when you get down to it is consistency, right? I don't really, from a teaching mindset, like for you guys, I don't care if you guys are making 1% or 10% a day. The key is, or 0.2%, or 0.5%. It doesn't matter. The key is consistently growing your account at whatever rate that is. Right. And I think that lends to also the psychology of trading, is that you don't have to kill it. You don't have to swing for the fences. And if 1% is swinging for the fences, and then you shouldn't do that. Do you know what I mean? You should be consistent, and every day you should be able to grow your account. But that consistency does not come until you know how to fix your trades, because the next evolution in your trading is, really, yeah, I'm hitting it 1%, bam, 5%, right? And so you like go up 4 days in a row and one day give all your profits back. And that's very discouraging and frustrating when that happens. So,
and Dave, I think for you, or for us, now that we've seen you do it, 1% is kind of a nice organic stopping point.
Sure.
Like, okay, here's 1%. It's going to happen organically because you're trading we're trading properly. We know how to trade, and 1% is like, it's a good stopping point. So we're hitting 1% all the time now, and it's no big deal for us. But like Nick said in the chat, when we mention it to people that know how hard it is, and they're like, wait, what? You're getting 1% a day? They put that on a spreadsheet and they're like, what?
Yeah. I mean, just so I was going to say, cool. Go ahead and share that story.
We have a hedge fund. I mean, these guys are commanding hundreds of millions of dollars, and they can't understand how David's able to pull out, 1%. That they were courting, trying to give him a couple 100,000 to trade, because 1% a day, could turn into trillions of dollars. And I guess it's unfathomable for them.
Which is kind of
a stock hedge fund or something else?
No, it's just private equity.
Yeah.
Hedge fund.
But do they do it through the stock market, or?
No, they manage a portfolio of different type of investing. They invest in different companies, all the different things. So that's what they do.
Yeah. But they invest in companies.
Right.
So it's equivalent to stock. It's investing.
Yeah. But they're like, they were touting like a 5% return. It was awesome. Like an annual.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's
right.
That's beautiful. But a lot of times people who do stock, they don't understand what the potential is for Forex, because it just moves in a different.
Well, no, they didn't. They actually, what was kind of funny was that they had a guy that they knew personally as a friend, that traded, that knew all the lingo. They didn't know any lingo, right? So but they wanted me to talk to him so that he could vet me to make sure that I knew what I was talking about, because they were in such disbelief.
Yeah.
I even showed him my track record. I showed him, my 12-month track record, and they still didn't believe it.
Oh yeah. Like I said, like I was alluding to before, even the best people doing stock who've been doing it for decades, they're going to max out at about 200% ROI per year. So if you're pulling down 1% per day or more consistently, they're going to look at you like,
I mean, it's not a true 1%. Like, I'm not doubling or not growing 1%, because you got to account for days you take losses, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So,
but
and you do take losses for sure.
When it comes to they'll hit a ceiling around 200% ROI per year. So if you're going above that, like I'm sure Sean obviously is above that, then they're going to be a little skeptical at first. It's because they work in a world of stock, and they don't quite know how the numbers are a bit different on Forex.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm doing something here that I don't typically recommend doing, which is I'm going into a sell at the end of a price cycle, only because I'm seeing this break right here, and I want to do kind of like a not a fix it, but an adjustment trade, where I'm going to make money on the sell. I could see if it breaks here, it could run down and test this, and then I'll get into buys, make money in the buys, and depending on the action point here, I'll get out for a break-even situation. But this is something that I do a lot to negate the ouch that you could have here, if that makes sense.
So you did 3 cells and you're waiting for your action point.
Mm-hmm. I didn't mean to do 3 cells. I meant to do more, but I was explaining it where if I wasn't explaining it, I would have got into the cells as much as my buys and kind of made sure that I wasn't losing money on the downturn. So I wasn't able to pull that off. But now just take then we start looking as a buy all the way down to this point. We'll still continue to see if we're getting the higher lows right here. And if it continues to give us a turn before it breaks this, then all these trades will probably be in play for a break even / profit situation. So as I'm talking, so that's kind of the point that like this whole time we've been trading, we haven't been talking a whole lot of trading. And that's kind of the point that I want you guys to get to where I haven't had to think about trading. I've just been reacting, right? And so it's just been reacting to the market and not necessarily have, you could do other things or think about other things. But as a beginner trader, and you're trying to learn all this stuff, you got all these things you got to think about. And I don't do you guys any favors by saying, always have a plan A, have a plan B. Here's your action point here. And I'm just loading you guys up with information. But at some point, it does become just reactionary. Like I've seen it all, right? Been there, done that. Like right this second, this is what I'm looking at. And I'm building into a buy position, but I'm also saying, okay, like is a little M right here. If it breaks, it could come down and test the bottom. But if it doesn't break this, it could run back up for a price cycle. And so I don't necessarily want to get into anything that's heavy right now. I'm looking to kind of keep, like the whole day we've been trading, I don't think I've ever really gone past my 50%, but I'm getting close. And so if I have to stack more buys on,
I have 2 layers of buys on.
If I have to put more buys on, then I don't want to go above the 50%. So I'm looking for just kind of slowing my trading down a little bit until I can get, like I use the word power, so I can kind of take some trades off and put them back in, and so take the power back from the market. Like right now, the market has power of these trades right here, these top trades. So here it goes. If this holds, it may get into a sell to write it down, and I may get into a little bit of a heavier position on my sells if I get a pullback. If I don't get a pullback, then I just missed the opportunity on that. But I'm not placing a sell right here. I have to have a pullback. And I'm hoping it pulls back to right about there. To right about here. If it pulls back to right there, I'll probably get into that. And get into that. And we'll see if this holds. I'm light on the sells really quick because that candle pretty strong. So if it holds above this, then it's going to go up a little higher. Which is fine. It's great. But if it fails to break, oop, you're going to break, aren't you? All right, so we're into price cycle down, and we're into a price cycle up. I don't think it has enough to go 2 price cycles, so I'm hoping we get somewhere in here.
I'm hoping it goes 2 price cycles.
Are you in H&P? It doesn't ever trade in a V. So I think what I'll do here is maybe peel off these buys right here. Start peeling off some and start adjusting so I can get some of that power back in the market. So I'm going to take off. Like to see if I can't get them under $10. We'll see. I'm going to peel those guys off. The worst losses right now, just those two. So there's a $20 loss I just took. So now I got to find a way to make $20. Oh, that was a mistake. I was peeling off my sells. I was peeling off my buys. My bad. Didn't see that. See, I still make mistakes. I could have easily kept those sells on for a little less of a loss.